broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good morning, and thanks for joining us today on our webinar topic. It is on CDs, annuities, and this is Jim Guinan, Annuity Sales Director. I appreciate your taking the time to join us today. First, we're going to talk about some things going on here at our brokerage, insurance agency marketing, and update you on a couple areas that we're working with producers on right now. And then we'll get into our topic again, talking about similarities and differences between two different financial instruments, in some ways alike, in other ways different, and how you can use your knowledge and more information about certificates to possibly position yourself for other business that's out there. So I do want to start out this morning and welcome all of you. This program is being recorded, so you can, or it will be available for you later today. So if for some reason you have to exit early or you want to go back and review it again, that's great, and we appreciate it. So with that, I'll get started. I want to talk to you about some business builders here at our brokerage. There's actually three that I'm going to talk to you about very briefly: referred producer program, marketing reimbursement, and also our new producer bonus. So the referred producer program, we've been working in this and with this for many years. We certainly build our business much like you do in the field, basing it on referrals. So if you have a referral, someone that's writing our lines of business, life, annuity, MedSup, and you want to put them in touch with us, we will pay you some bonuses. As you can see, of course, when they contract, we'll pay you $50. From there on, you earn an override, in essence, out of us for the business they write. It's ongoing, it's unlimited. So if you want to build an agency that way, or build a group of producers where you really don't have to do anything, you just put them in touch with us, and again, we'll follow up and treat them as well as we do you. Again, it's unlimited. So keep that in mind. Our marketing reimbursement program is another way of us helping you build your business. This is money that's thrown into an account for you for the business that you write. So indexed annuity, single premium life, target life premium has a conversion. For annuities, as you can see, it's $100 for $100,000 of premium. That goes into an account, it builds up, it doesn't expire, and then you can use that as you'd like for business expenses. So if you have a lead program that you want to run or some office expenses, submit those receipts in and we'll pay out of the reimbursement account 50%. So again, we're in it with you. And then the new producer bonus, as I mentioned, these are the levels, the three of the levels that you can obtain in your first 180 days of working with us. So once you contract, then you have 6 months to maximize your new producer bonus. So at the end of that period of time, whichever threshold you're at is what you would earn. You can take advantage of the marketing pieces, you can take advantage of some different packages, or of course you can take cash. So again, it's a jump start program. Take advantage of the new producer bonus as best you can. Again, this is not just limited to annuity only, but it's our way of saying thank you. Here at IMES, I think we do a pretty good job. Actually, I shouldn't say pretty good job. I think we do a really good job of trying to do our best to allow you to do what you do best, excuse me, which is sell. So one of the things that we do, several of them you can see on the screen here, our case managers, once you've written a case, it comes in-house. Their job is to follow up, make sure they do what they can do to help get that case pushed along, get issued, and so you can get paid. Again, we do in our marketing as well as our support team help you with quotes on life and annuity, and our paperless contracting is also a time saver because as you need additional carriers to add to write business, most of those companies are on that paperless contract. So if you want to add them, you don't have to fill something out every single time you want a new carrier. And that is the case for most of them. So again, these are all things that you expect from us and that we deliver in order to let you do what you do best. Okay, in our creative department, they certainly help us. They help with things like facilitating our webinars, but they also do a lot of work with producers on website design and branding, helping you develop your business program more efficiently. So if you're looking at any of these services that are on this page, or would like to know what they can do to help you in your business, email marketing, improve or build a website, and they'll let you know what it costs to do that. So certainly reach out to Jacob and his team, and they'll be glad to work with you and help you along. Okay, and our website is www.iamsinc.com, IAMSINC.com. If you have been there recently, you'll know there's a lot of information available for you, the producer. If you've not, it's pretty easy to create a login and take advantage of the information. Our webinar schedule is posted in there. Our current annuity grid, which is the same book that we have at our desk. It shows the most competitive products for each carrier, especially our top carriers. There's an income rider section and also a multi-year guarantee annuity, which kind of ties in with what we're going to be talking about here soon. There's also current news. There's forms available. There's a term quote engine. So a lot of valuable tools, and of course, not to forget our sales resource library with things like financial calculators, fact finders, tax information. So please, if you've not been to our website, take advantage of it. It's a great website, and we're improving it all the time. Want to talk to you about our IAMS Wealth Management for a moment. We've had our own RIA now here at Insurance Agency Marketing for almost 3 years, and it has grown significantly in that time. We have chosen to work in that market because it helps our existing producers and, of course, take on new producers with a market that works in cohesion or in coordinate with the annuity life producer. So if you have an inclination to grow your business, would like to know more about what it takes to be an IAR, get your license, what it's involved in cost, and what kind of revenue this can generate for your clientele, please reach out to Charles and our team. If you'd like, I'll certainly send out a questionnaire at this time. And if you'd like to get more information or have a conversation about working with us on IAMS Wealth and become an advisor, please let them know. We will forward the information on. If you just want to receive something, that's fine too. And maybe today isn't a good time. Maybe this year isn't a good time, but perhaps some point in the future. Okay, I'm going to close that poll question out right now, and I do appreciate your responses on that. Also, I want to talk briefly about our Life and Annuity Academy. We have one more installment scheduled for this year of our Academy, and that will be in September. It's tentatively set for September 18th through the 20th, and that will be a Wednesday through Friday time of the week. So what we're looking for in our academies are individuals that are writing annuity and life business now. that are able to place the business with us. Of course, we don't want to offer a all expense paid training to not take advantage of that from our perspective. But these are some of the topics, as you can see on here, that we go through. The program is updated every time. There are some that are more timely topics or areas that we concentrate on. But again, our goal is to help you in your practice look for ways to grow that business, whether it's seminar selling or perhaps a product or service that you've not taken advantage of before. So if you're out in the field, you're writing annuity business, life business, would like to attend, I would suggest registering for this. You can register now. We've had several emails that have went out. After our webinar today, you will receive an email, if you've not already, that will invite you to register. And if you have any questions about what we do with this further, you can certainly call me, or if there's a manager, life or annuity that you're already talking to, that's fine, and we'd be glad to visit with you further. So I'm going to allow you to respond now. If you'd like to get more information about the Academy, again, let me know. It is a very full 2-day, all expense paid program. Our next Academy is September 18th through the 20th, and it will be in West Des Moines, Iowa. I'll tell you that much right now. So again, we have plenty of time, but we have already reviewed our registrations that we've been receiving in, and we have by no means narrowed this field. So we're looking at around 40 producers. Again, thanks for your responses. We will be talking about this more and more, but hard to believe it's already June and September is around the corner. So. Okay, and lastly, I want to just visit a little bit about our marketing summit. We're closing out our qualification period here at the end of June. This is our social and educational event. It will be in August in Naples, Florida. It is our Times 2019 Marketing Summit. There hopefully will be another marketing summit. We just don't know when exactly and where, but it should start July 1st. So for those of you that are perhaps already writing with us, and we appreciate it on pace, or would like to know where you're at with that, please let me know. We can certainly get you an update on where you're at. Again, we have about another month here for the qualification of this social and educational event. So stay tuned for further information on our next marketing summit. Okay, so moving on to the topic today, which is annuities versus CDs. I want to just talk with you about some ideas, some comparisons of these two financial products. So let's talk a little bit further. Better savings vehicle. Both annuities and CDs are savings programs that offer better rates than just a regular bank account, like a checking, money market, or savings. So, but when we look a little closer, annuities might have an advantage for those people that have been using the CDs for a retirement complement, for example. So again, each have their own purpose, and I don't want to by any means tell you that individuals should not own a certificate of deposit. So I want to say that up front. Okay, so we want to talk about three main areas or features and how they apply for each. Okay, so let's talk about accumulation first and foremost. CDs are a shorter term instrument. So they are meant for as short as several months to several years. They are issued by a bank or a credit union, so you cannot purchase those through a insurance company, but you can purchase them through a bank, a credit union, and again, they're meant for a shorter term period of time. They're a holding for usually several months, most commonly 1 year up to 5 years, with rates on the rise over the last couple of years. I think the maturities have shortened up quite a bit, and that makes sense. So the rate of return on a certificate is determined by the term. So usually the longer you're tying the money up in the certificate, the time deposit, the better the rate. Now, annuities, on the other hand, are meant for long term. Annuity is generally a retirement vehicle, so it's meant to hold for a number of years or for a long time. And it is issued by a life insurance company, so it's a savings investment or a savings deposit of such that is offered through a life insurance company only. So again, annuities are compounding, accumulation. There's a growth on certificates, also compound. So they have a lot of similarities in many of their features. Annuities, of course, have additional features that certificates do not. But as far as accumulation, they're meant for longer term. When we talk about tax deferral, CDs do not really have tax deferral. Now, you can designate your IRA. You can use a certificate of deposit as a funding vehicle for an IRA, but for our purposes here today, we're going to talk about non-qualified situations for the most part. So a CD is not tax deferred. You can let it accumulate, but you pay taxes on it each year. You'll get a tax document from the certificate. Again, non-qualified money, you'll get a certificate whether you take the interest every year or whether you let it compound and grow. With an annuity, most annuities are purchased as tax deferral vehicles. So the interest is reinvested and compounded. You can take withdrawals from an annuity, so those would be taxable, but as is, the benefit of an annuity is that it is tax deferred, and that is powerful. And then we talk about cash accessibility. So again, most certificates are of a shorter term nature, so that means they are available to withdrawal in shorter periods of time. You cannot, however, access those dollars like you can other investments. So you can't go in and say, I want to get a specific dollar amount or percentage out of that while it's in the term of maturity. So if you own a 2-year certificate, your client can't say, well, hey, I want $500 out of that. They'd have to break into the certificate. So they don't have a liquidity provision. However, they can be layered. So of course, if an individual knows that they're going to need access to dollars, they could purchase a group of 6-month certificates or 6-month, 1 year, 1.5 year, and so on, which then makes them more accessible. But as the financial instrument is written, they do not have an accessibility provision. Whereas an annuity, on the other hand, even though it is a retirement vehicle, long term, does in many instances, not always, but many instances, has accessibility. It can be up to 10%. It could be up to even 15% of the accumulation value. Most common is 10. It might be interest only. There are a few products on the marketplace today, some in our portfolio that have no liquidity at all. So, that's something we'd want to be aware of in talking to you on behalf of your clients. But for the most part, you can go in, grab money. If you own a 2-year, 5-year, 10-year annuity, you should have, in most of the products out there today, you will have access to withdraw penalty-free dollars. Okay, moving on with some side-by-side comparisons on some other features. So let's look at loss protection. All right. So annuities are backed by the insurance company that issues them. And so the typical surplus or reserving for insurance companies that are offering annuities is usually anywhere from 102 to 105% of what is deposited. So again, they are backed by the insurance company, and whereas certificates have a different protection, CDs are insured by the FDIC, and it is up to 250,000. So again, it's a different backing, a different protection of loss. The FDIC only protects the bank instruments, not annuities. Withdrawal charges. All right. So when we talk about withdrawal charges, this kind of covers a little bit of what we've been speaking about here, but CDs will have a penalty if you withdraw them prior to the term maturity. So if you purchased a 3-year certificate and the client wants to get to the money before then, they're going to pay a penalty of interest on that. Typically, it could be anywhere from 6 months to 1 year. The longer the term, the higher the penalty that would be. Again, interest penalty. With annuities, they do have a surrender schedule of withdrawal charges. So today, most annuities have a declining schedule. And again, very similar in that regard. You withdraw it too early. Besides, outside of the penalty free, you will have withdrawal charges on an annuity. Access. Again, I mentioned this. Most annuity products today have a penalty free withdrawal. It could be 10%, could be interest, but that's usually from day one. And certificates, shorter term, accessible sooner, but there is no penalty-free withdrawal, let's just say. All right, talk about Social Security benefits. Interest on annuities is deferred until the payment begins, so it's not counted towards tax liability. The CD interest is counted toward taxation on Social Security benefits the year it's earned, so that could lead to higher taxes on that. So that again is a good selling point for an annuity product when you visit with clients and prospects that are paying taxes on interest from a certificate and other bank instruments. One way to eliminate that or lower that would be to reposition that money into a fixed annuity, all things other considered suitable. And then taxation. Of course, I mentioned this earlier. CD interest is reported and taxed the year it's earned, whether they withdraw that money or not. With annuities, they are tax deferred. So when your clients purchase a fixed annuity, regardless of what kind of fixed annuity product it is, they do not get a 1099. If they asked for a withdrawal, that changes that. But as is, they are automatically reinvested, compounded, and that is growing, therefore tax deferred. Okay, a couple other things here on the overview. Free from principal and market risk and price fluctuations. They both are. Yes, there is no risk to your principal in a fixed annuity. And same with certificate of deposit. Interest on the earnings are free from current taxation. Yes. With a certificate, no. So annuity, yes. Certificate, no. Interest earnings reinvested with no current taxation. Yes on the annuity, not on the certificate. And then on the tax liability on Social Security income, we already touched on that. Okay, are they liquid? Yes, annuities are liquid because they have that penalty-free withdrawal. Certificates are liquid because they can be for such a short period of time that you can access it. Are they flexible? This means flexible. Premium. Yes, annuities can be. Not all of them are, but there are flexible annuities. Certificate of deposit is not. So once you invest your deposit into a certificate, You cannot add to that particular one. I don't see that as such a negative. That's not a big deal. You can purchase additional certificate of deposits. Penalty-free withdrawal, yes on the annuity, no on the CD. Are they free from probate? Another strong selling point for fixed products. Yes, an annuity is free from probate as long as there's a named beneficiary, and on a certificate they are not. Taxation on withdrawals. There's no tax penalty. I guess what they're referring to is the penalty, an IRS penalty. There is no tax penalty for withdrawals on CDs. If the annuity owner is under 59 and a half and they take out a withdrawal, there may be a 10% penalty if there's gain. How secured? Going back to protection, full faith and credit of the insurance company for the annuity, FDIC on the certificate. Okay, this might help you with showing your clients, prospects, a way to eliminate or reduce taxes on interest. And I touched on this a couple slides ago. So what you do is, if you're visiting with someone, ask them if they would be able to provide you their 1040 tax return, and then you can put the following diagram on paper. Okay, so as you can see at the top, it says bank certificates, does create a 1099, and that interest appears on line 8A of the return. So a discussion here would say, have you thought about a way to reduce the taxes on that line 8A? And one of the options, there's several, but one of the options is to look at a tax control account, such as a tax deferred annuity. And by doing so, you'll lower that taxable interest by repositioning some of that money. You may be earning an even better rate. It's a safe product, guarantee of principal. Now you have access, tax deferral, all the benefits of a fixed annuity. We lower that number, free up a few, dollars for taxes, and we've purchased a product that can provide potentially more benefits immediately for down the road. So a great alternative. Again, there are other types of accounts that can do this, but directly off the tax return, one of the ways is to reposition some of that into a tax deferred annuity. So let's talk about the power of triple compounding. I think we even overlook this from time to time. So the power of triple compounding is the interest on your principal, the interest on your interest, and the interest on money not lost to taxes. So in this graph here, you can see in the first category, it talks about interest-bearing accounts, how they generate interest off of your principal. But if you're using it, spending it, using it for something else, your money is not growing. Your principal is not growing at that time. So if you continue to do that for years and years, you pay taxes on that gain, but you're not getting anywhere as far as the growth of your principal. In the second example, where you reinvest the interest, the money will grow. Again, this example assumes a 7% yield with a 33% tax rate, as you see at the bottom. So again, it's just an example of what can happen over time if you allow that interest that's earning to reinvest and not pay out. So again, instead of 10 grand, now you're almost at 40,000. And then the third example, it's the interest. If interest earned on the principal is reinvested and the principal remains untouched in a tax deferred annuity, so instead of 40,000, Now it's 76,000. So I think you see what we're talking about is you've got interest reinvested, not paying taxes on it over time is huge. It's huge. So again, the power of what annuities can do if allowed to reinvest, competitive returns, not using those dollars. Okay, so this is the last piece that I wanted to touch on here. This is the CD questionnaire. This is an example of one page out of a fact finder. You may already use a fact find. We have several, by the way, in our resource library. So I'll put a plug in for that again. But we do have a section here that I think is good to use in a discussion about certificates. And you know, let's talk about maturity dates, some key things to talk about if you're in a discussion, updating your file for a client, meeting with someone the first time, kind of learning a little bit more about their financial situation and where they're at and where they put their retirement money or where they put their liquid money. Again, some key things to talk about: maturity date, certainly what it's earning, how long is it in tied up, or how long they all are tied up for, and then what's your goal? I think that's the most important part of that. What is the goal of the certificates? Is the certificate money something for a purchase in the near future, a year or two down the road? Is it for property? Is it for a particular purchase that you have? If that's the case, we don't want to approach that topic. We don't want to recommend, even though we know in many instances that we can improve that situation. It's not just that. We need to know what the purpose of that is. So what is the purpose? Is it for a short term? That's the answer you should hear, is that I'm using that for blank purchase, or yes, this is my emergency money beyond my money market or whatever. Okay. But if the answer is, well, it's kind of for retirement or long term, so what portion of that is? So you may have something to do with, you may have some recommendation here now. So again, it's identifying, just like everything else that's on the fact find that's not showing on this page, uh, learning about what they have, why they have it, how they feel about it. So in just a summary here, hopefully this kind of helps you educate your clients and about what they have, what are some opportunities out there, and gives you some information on the advantages of an annuity where it's suitable. And now, of course, it's up to you to kind of recommend what you think they should do. So when we talk about CDs, a CD type annuity is a multi-year rate annuity. And I wanted to give you some rates that I located here. If you go to bankrate.com, you've probably been there before, but it's a great website. It really is. And they have updated certificate rates. So what I did this morning, went out to that website, and what I found is that, and again, this was local access. So some of these are national companies. I'm just going to explain up front. These are internet banks or physical banks. So most of them are internet banks. So most everyone should have access to them. But the best 2-year CD that was posted on there was 2.6. 3-year at 2.7, and 5-year at 2.9. Again, your bank that you work with might have lower rates, or they might have a special, and you can take it. I mean, they might. Again, it's going to vary where you're at, but just to give you a general idea, we do have a 2-year fixed rate annuity right now at 2.85. We do have 3-year rates at 3, and we have 5-year rates as high as 4, with one carrier for about another 2 weeks, we believe. But generally, you can find about 3.5 on a 5-year. Again, it depends on your state, availability. It's going to depend on the age of the client. Again, I don't want to tell you that you can certainly beat a certificate rate. If we can even match a certificate rate, the annuity has distinct advantages: tax deferral, access, living benefits that you can turn on for income. And there's a whole slew of advantages, but just straight on fixed annuity, CD to fixed guaranteed rate annuity, right now, we still do have an advantage in the annuity market. So I just wanted to give you some idea of what the rates are out there. And hopefully that helps you generate some discussions with your clients this next week or two. Another couple quick points. Many individuals now still do today fund their IRAs and certificates at the bank. And so that is an area that you can really cue in on when you're on your fact find is to find out in those certificates, are any of those qualified? Are any of those IRAs? And the reason that is a good question is because if they're 40 years old or 50 years old and they're funding their IRA in a CD, we know that they're dedicating that money for retirement. So why not find something that can earn something better for them and offer them better retirement benefits than a certificate? That's an area that you can definitely key in on. Again, I've talked to you about fixed rate, the multi-year rate. Keep in mind there are a lot of indexed annuities, fixed index products in the market today that are in the 5, 6, and 7-year range. So they're not extremely long. They're some of the most competitive offerings out there, with companies like American Equity, Great American, Athene. They have short-term index products where their fixed strategy inside the product is better than the CD rate. So again, and again with even better benefits of potential nursing home terminal illness riders, an income rider. It may have a cost, but an income rider. So again, we want to think beyond the multi-year rate, that there are other opportunities in the fixed market to help improve your client's position with those dollars. So I want to thank you today for your time. If you have any questions, and I'm sure you do, I'll be getting back with you soon. But if you have any questions at all, let me know what those are, and I'll be glad to answer those questions. I know some of you typed in today, and I will get back with you on those questions. I do appreciate your interest today, and let me know and let IMS know how we can help you in your fixed annuity sales. Thank you so much, and have a great day.